Well, in the history of Manchester United, the player exodus that's going to happen in the summer transfer window has never been seen anywhere at Manchester United. It's going to walk down in the books of history of Manchester United that in the summer of 2023, lots of players left because we are talking of a minimum of 7 players coming in or coming out of Manchester United. You get? And it's also going to be pumped up by the fact that we have to sell to buy. So Ten Hag is planning a huge player exodus in the summer to raise funds to buy in players. Welcome to United Matters channel, as the Glazers really want more money for Manchester United, as the takeover really get some bit of silence, because for the previous 3-4 days we've not had anything ever since Sheikh Jassim Al Thani put in his bid that is approximately near 5.5 billion pounds. Then Dean Henderson is another one to talk about, and very many other stories that we've compiled in here on this channel. So guys, Rokan David is my name. Welcome to this channel, and let's do this story such that we call it a day, and obviously we go to bed. Then we see how tomorrow is going to be, because tomorrow is so exciting. Remember, it has been close to how many days, 12-13 days without us making what we call a match preview for Manchester United. And I think tomorrow at around 20 hours we'll be up and running to see to it that we bring you the match preview of United versus Newcastle as you wait for the Ten Hag preview. It's not Ten Hag preview, it's the Ten Hag press conference that's going to hold on Friday at Carrington here. So I think we are back into the action-packed week, and almost every 3 days we'll be really bringing you a preview, because you're going to be playing 2 games per week. And it will be noted that ever since United returned from the World Cup, or ever since the World Cup ended and we resumed the season of United, every week we've been playing 2 games. And I think until the end of the season, United is going to be playing 2 games, unless otherwise we find ourselves knocked out of the UEFA Europa League. That's it. But I think all is really put out there for United to really thrive in there for you. Now, today, it's Rob Dawson, a United correspondent for ESPN, has told us that Manchester United are ready to listen to offers for a number of senior players in a bid to increase the summer budget and navigate financial fair play constraints. Now, talk of the financial fair play constraints. You know, it's all about the amount of money you spend, add on your wage that you pay these players, and then you really deduct it from the amount of money you've been making for the past 5 years. So as it stands, United need to balance up their books, and if at all they spend stupidly, they'll be charged by UEFA and the Premier League. So they don't want that to happen, so they need to offload players. And the reason as why they need to offload players is that these players are really earning huge sums of money, and some of them were bought expensively, and they are really not main players that Erik Ten Hag is using at the club of Manchester United. So, to increase the budget of Erik Ten Hag, he needs to sell to buy. There might be a budget of like 100 million pounds, but Erik Ten Hag needs to raise some more 100 million pounds from the sale of these players. Now, the players available that have been noted that we are going to sell at Manchester United include the following. There is Eric Bay and Alex Telles will be allowed to leave Manchester United permanently after loan spells this season. Elanga and Brandon Williams are likely to be made available on loan, and Phil Jones and Twanzebe are set to leave. Now, they've talked about 3 sets of players. The first one is Eric Bay and Alex Telles. To me, I believe it's over for them. It's over for them because Erik Ten Hag would have liked to be having 5 central defenders at Manchester United, but the moment he let Eric Bay go to Nice, and by the time he came in through, and to Marseille. I'm meaning Marseille. He went to Marseille, not Nice. After that, his loan was really sanctioned by Erik Ten Hag. The words he spoke about the club cannot see him be at the club of Manchester United anymore. And I don't think Erik Ten Hag will entertain him even coming close to the players. So for that one, he's leaving. Alex Telles also is going to leave. We are having 2 left backs in the Mutalo Malas here and Luke Shaw. So I think he has no space in the squad of Manchester United. Then he has talked about Twanzebe and Phil Jones. So Phil Jones, it's a must that he's leaving because his contract is expiring in the summer, and he has been enjoying £140,000 for the previous 3-4 years. And guess who gave him the new contract and gave it green light? It was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So some of the problems we are facing at Manchester United are as a result of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in through and obviously green lighting contract to certain players to be given, and Phil Jones was really given an increment of close to £40,000 because he was earning £100,000, and because of the new contract being offered to him, green lighted by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then he requested for £140,000. So that is how we are going to really reduce on our wage bill, because it's really huge. Telles is earning close to is it £80,000 a week? Eric Bay, £140,000 a week. Twanzebe, I think is around, is it £50,000? You go to Phil Jones, £140,000 a week. So getting those 4 players out, we'll see United save, that is like 540, close to £500,000 saved per week. Those are £2 million saved per week. So that shows you that these players need to go. The other players that I talked about are Brandon Williams and Anthony Elanga. Anthony Elanga, for his loan, I agree with it. But for Brandon Williams, I see no reason as to why he should be loaned. Why should he be loaned? Because he's earning close to £70,000 a week, and that contract is going to be Manchester United. So I think it's another wage bill, huge wage burden that is really being put onto the club of Manchester United that we need to sort out. This guy needs to be sold. To me, I believe he should be sold. He should be sold out of this club and obviously give us space, because there is no space for him to play. So United want to loan him. After loaning him, he has a very good spell. After having a very good spell, to milk some good money out of him. If a team can get us £10 million in Brandon Williams, let him go. You get £5 million for Telles and Eric Bay each. That is £10 million. Add on the 10 of Brandon Williams, that is 20. And then which other set of players we talked about? All right, those 2 pairs. If those 2 pairs can raise close to £20 million. Let them go. Get that £20 million, add it on what we have, and we bring in other players to really get the job done and dusted. Now, after those, but for Anthony Elanga, I see a player in him, but he needs to be developed and he needs a loan. So we need to find him a place where he's going to be developed and obviously fight for his position at Manchester United, because right now it's bad for him. He has fallen a lot in the picking order of Erik ten Hag, with Pelestri, Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho all playing ahead of him, meaning that there is no way he's going to get enough playing time at the club. Now, we've also been told that Scott McTominay is wanted by Newcastle United, while there is also interest from the Premier League and Europe in Harry Maguire, Lindelof and Dean Henderson. Now, these 3 players, I think Scott McTominay will go. Harry Maguire has a high chance of leaving. Even Dean Henderson has a high chance of leaving. Lindelof, doubtful, but that means on the 2, one will go, either Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof. But whoever goes, I think we can get £40 million from that player. So we've been talking about 4 players leaving, 5 players leaving in the previous tweet that I showed you. If at all we add on Scott McTominay, 5. Scott McTominay 6, Harry Maguire 7, and Dean Henderson 8. Those are 8 players that are expected to leave Manchester United. That's why I've called it a huge exodus of players, and Erik ten Hag needs to do this. And this is where we can get some good money. Scott McTominay for £30 million. Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof, one should go. £40 million, that is 70. Dean Henderson, £30 million, that is close to £100 million for Erik ten Hag. If I told you add on the 20 that you sold Eric Bay, Brandon Williams, Alex Telles, 4, that gives us close to £120 million. So if United can raise £120 million from sales, I think that will be a very good achievement, but we've never done it before, and we are requesting the same board that has always failed to sell players to obviously do the needful and really sell them. You get? In the summer, the reason as to why you had one of the biggest exits in the league, sorry, in the team of Manchester United was simple. Most of those players went for free. Paul Pogba, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, and Jesse Lingard. 4 players went for free. Hey, even Edison Cavani. 5 players quit the club as free agents. They really left. And others on mutual consent with the club. That's why you saw that 5 players really left. And which player did we sell? Ghana was sold. Which other player was sold? So that means we had close to 6 players leaving the club of Manchester United last summer. Now, this summer, we need to sell and earn money. But, United are really bad at negotiations. And I don't know, at least on the either sides of negotiations, would have been better at one. Negotiate either good at negotiating with our compatriots that we want to buy players from, or those that we're going to sell players to. But in both sides, it's really the same. So I think it's really going to be something hard for Erik ten Hag, because the negotiating part of United will really let him down. Now, Dean Henderson, there's an update about him that is due back for Nottingham Forest in 3 weeks. Manchester United future to be decided at the end of the season, but he could be sold to raise funds. 2 clubs have made contact about a permanent transfer for this guy. To me, I believe he should be sold. His ego is really too much. He believes that he's better than David De Gea, of which that's a lie. And teams like Tottenham Hotspur are really interested in signing him. So I think you better sell him. You better sell him at like £30 million, get in that money, give it to Erik ten Hag, he'll put it to proper usage. Because Ten Hag first needs 3 players. Before we think about any other player, we need a Casemiro backup, we need a central defender who's right-footed, and a centre forward. So, if at all we can gather close to £120 million from the sales, then we will find ourselves in a position of really getting those players. Because if Ten Hag has £80 million to spend for the striker, yes, and that's being offered him by the club, and that's going to be his budget, then he can get the £120 million and get in a backup for Casemiro and obviously centre forward. So to me, I believe it's all possible if at all this exodus is really planned enough. And if at all I am Erik ten Hag, would have gone ahead to call in for the board of United to start making negotiations with the team that we could take these players such that they are sold immediately. But the problem we are having is our players that we want to sell are on huge wages. Harry Maguire, £200,000 a week. Brandon Williams, £70,000 a week. Tellers, Eric Bay, £140,000 a week. So that makes it hard for us to sell those players because they are really on a hefty fee, and that's all being brought in by the board. That's why, to me, I would like that board to be really sacked, and we get in people who know the game of football. And that's why you see to it that the streamlining of these wages is so much in the talk about, and it's delaying many deals of United players, because Erik ten Hag told them that you can't run a club like this. You need to cut these salaries of these players. Now, Erik ten Hag again today has gone ahead and really talked about Sir Alex Ferguson, that his experience is huge, so with all the knowledge he can help you with, he can. I'm really pleased that he wants to share his knowledge with me. It's great to talk and learn from him, and I hope we can do more. We can do it more often. Now, for the very first time, Erik ten Hag and Ferguson met outside the stadium of Old Trafford or Carrington, and they discussed what United is all about, and things went his way. And he's really privileged of Sir Alex Ferguson knowledge that we're giving him. And guys, you know that in our saying we say that knowledge is like fire. You get? You lose nothing by really giving someone on the fire that you are having, because it won't burn out. You get? And the candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. That's the proper way the Englishman brought it in. So I think that's what Sir Alex Ferguson is doing to Erik ten Hag by lighting his candle, and loses nothing by lighting his candle. Now, after Erik ten Hag saying that, we are having a story coming in from Sky Cave of Sky Sports via Football Daily that with the Washington Commanders receiving a bid of about €6 billion, the Glazers could raise Manchester United's asking price, as the club itself, through the money it makes, name value etc., is bigger than the NFL franchise. Now, to me, I'm just waiting to see by the end of next week what you're going to be having. That is, it's going to be by 9th April, because these people are given 10 days, and mid next week, all Friday next week and Sunday, those days would have expired. Now we'll be waiting to see what the Rain Group would have come in for. Have they chosen the bidder to take over Manchester United, or they are going to find themselves in a position of redoing the needful? To tell me about the franchise of NFL, that's nonsense, because you can't tell me that you are shifting goalposts as the Glazers with the price of Manchester United after seeing this, meaning that you must have stood on your ground that you told the people that are willing to buy the club on the amount of money you are willing for them to buy it on. So that's total nonsense, and I cannot welcome it. Glazers should style up and grow up. You don't have the money, just find yourself out of the club peacefully, because we don't want to see fans of United demonstrating again, stopping matches to happen. That chaos was really bad, and don't want to see it again happen at the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through. Tell me your thoughts about Ten Hag's huge player exodus. Who do you think should be non-sold, and who do you think should be sold? You get? Then what do you think about Glazers having a shift in their mind on how much they're supposed to sell Manchester United because of a franchise in the NFL that is going for $6 million? Thank you for watching it through. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I'm out.